All right, it says we're live, so we're live, and we are live at Mad Collab Studios with a live studio audience, and I love using the words live studio audience, so that's the main number one reason I wanted to have you guys here. And yeah, we've just been participating in the Spokane Small Business and Entrepreneurs Group. And now we're going to interview a couple of people. My name is Mohney. I'm the owner and editor of the Huckleberry Press. We're presenting live local Northwest, and we've got an exciting 20 minutes. So let's give everybody a round of applause. Yes. Sound like lots of people. So welcome, Mickaela.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. We have Mickaela and her husband, what's your name? Tanner is in the audience, and Mickaela and Tanner are with Move-In Magic. And what I want to say about that before we even dive in is, stream cannot be created. Rats. I wonder why that is.
Technical difficulties. Are you connected to the internet? Wi-Fi on.
I am connected to the internet.
It looks like you're live again.
All right, well, that was a precious moment that may or may not have been recorded. And now I'm totally blushing, but we will just move forward as though that didn't happen or did happen or something. So my name is Mohney. I'm with the Huckleberry Press, and we're interviewing Mickaela of Move-In Magic, and then we'll be interviewing Morgan Walters, artist extraordinaire. So again, welcome, Mickaela.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, very excited. And the Huckleberry Press is all about people that make a difference in the local community. So I'm excited to talk with Mickaela because her and Tanner, her husband, run a business that makes a difference. And they also have taken on other projects in the community to make a difference. So that's exciting. So now that I know that we're live, let's give Mickaela a round of applause. Yay.
Thank you, everybody.
So Mickaela, tell us a little bit about Move-In Magic, what you do, how you got, and tell us what you do and how you got started.
So we do move in, move out, and pre-listing cleanings, as well as handyman and maintenance services. We started our business because my husband developed epilepsy 2 years ago. He was a home builder, and that was just no longer safe for him. So we decided to kind of go back to our roots. When we met, he was doing property preservation, and we were doing clean outs of foreclosed homes, and decided to get back into that by offering our cleaning services. And we've been busy ever since.
Right on.
Yeah.
How long ago did you guys meet?
8 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now you're entrepreneurs together.
Yes, very, very exciting. We used to run our business in Oregon together, and when we stopped running our business, we missed being together all the time, and now we are very grateful that we get to spend so much time together and run our business.
Beautiful. Who are your perfect clients? Like the ones that you love to work with, when the phone rings and it's them on the phone, you're like, yay, holy cow, this is a perfect client.
We love to work with property managers and real estate agents. We know how to fulfill their needs and what they're looking for, and so we stay really niche and just basically work with those kind of clients. Whenever we get a property manager, we're really excited because those are great repeat clients, and we can learn their expectations and do a fabulous job for them every time.
What do you love most about what you do?
Oh, the before and afters are so rewarding. You get to see a completely dirty house or garbage everywhere, and by the end of the day or a couple days, you have a really, really nice place to walk through.
It sounds satisfying.
Yes, kind of like magic.
Oh yeah, Move-In Magic.
Yes. And that's another reason, like, we make our own magic. That's what inspired the name. With my husband getting sick, we wanted to come up with something and just kind of decide our own destiny, not just his disability.
Yeah, that makes sense. The question I had just slipped my mind. So, what is the impact that your business has for your clients and for the community at large?
Moving is one of life's most stressful events. And so we bring the magic. We make it stress-free for people. If you don't have time to clean, you don't have time to take out the trash, you don't have time to do a dump run, we just make it happen. We can put up blinds, we can replace light fixtures, whatever is needed to get the home ready for the next person. And we really love it.
And in the realm of community impact, you've got two different things that I'm aware of, perhaps more, but could you speak to the cleanup? I forgot what it's called, but the cleanup project?
So not really set on the name for sure yet, but right now it's the Centennial Trail Cleanup. It's a networking and cleanup event where we meet at Mission Park the third Saturday of every month. We clean up and then we come back to MAD and hang out and get to know each other a little better.
What sparked that project?
My husband and I really have a heart for service, and we are super, super busy. Like we actually started booking out only half days on Fridays just so we could come here for the networking event.
Oh.
And so we were like, how can we fit in volunteer work and networking? We just got to combine the two. So that's kind of what inspired the idea.
And you just had your first networking cleanup event this last weekend?
Yes.
How'd that go?
It was great. We got to check out the site, figure things out, figure out what kind of supplies would be helpful for next time. And just great test run.
And now Spokane's a little bit cleaner.
Yes, we did pick up quite a bit of trash, and we are hoping to invite more business owners in the community, especially in the Mission Park area, trying to get Safeway or any of those other big companies to come out.
I don't think you have a website, but if someone wants to find out about the cleanup event, how do they find out about it?
There is an event page on Facebook, and hopefully we will get it listed on our website and the Spokane Biz Club site.
Right on. And I happen to know there's an ad in the Huckleberry Press.
Yes, and I forgot to mention that. But there is an ad in the Huckleberry Press. That is the most important place to check it out. There's a QR code that will take you every place else.
It's all right that you forgot to mention it. I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but she did supply a thank you card for that earlier. And you also, so kudos on all that. That's really great. And you have been working with the city of Spokane on another project. So can you tell us about that?
So we put in a proclamation about 6 weeks ago for Purple Day, which is on March 26th for epilepsy awareness. We submitted a request, and then we got to go to a city council meeting, and we're presented with this, which is recognition for the day and discusses why it's important to recognize it. I will post it up on our Facebook page for you to read later if you'd like.
Wow, an official City of Spokane proclamation for Purple Day.
Yes, we got one from Airway Heights and Seattle as well. So super excited that we got 3 this year.
Wow, that's so great. I'm so excited. I feel like Stephen Colbert or somebody with an enthusiastic live studio audience. Do you guys have any questions for Mickaela before we go? What questions do you have?
How many employees do you have? Currently, we don't have any employees. We are looking to bring on employees this spring, but we've only used subcontractors so far. You are not an employee.
Tanner's being the time guy.
I used to run my own cleaning business, and kudos to you, sister, because that's a lot of work.
Thank you.
Heather?
Are you taking new clients, and if so, how do we get in touch with you?
We are taking new clients. The best way to reach out is through our Facebook page, or you can just give me a call. All of our information is provided on our website and our Facebook.
And your company name again, just for.
Move in Magic.
And say the website again, just to be clear.
Okay, our website is www.move-inmagic.com.
Right on. I acknowledge you for being a small business person in the first place. It's not easy. And I extra acknowledge you for not being so tied up in your small business. You've got time and vision to apply yourself to things like the cleanup project, Purple Day. I mean, all that extra stuff is going to come back to you, and it's making a difference in the community, and it's really awesome. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yay. So if you want to give your microphone to Morgan, and Morgan will put it on her shirt so it's kind of sticking up, and Morgan's warming up with a Red Bull. No, Morgan does not need a Red Bull.
I
Morgan,
don't know what you're talking about. It's almost like we know each other.
Morgan is the Energizer Bunny, so let's give Morgan a round of applause. So I am excited to interview Morgan, and I met Morgan several years ago in a little town called Davenport, which is where I actually live. And then she shows up at Mad Collab Studios, and I got to know her better because we're co-hosting with Jake Field, the Spokane Small Business and Entrepreneurs Group, which you can learn more about if you go to #Spokane Biz Club or visit the group called Spokane Small Business and Entrepreneurs Group on Facebook. So Morgan is generating all of that. She's generating Mad Collab Studios where we meet, where other events meet, groups meet, weddings,
Music videos, celebrations of life, theater groups. We've got the Upstart Players with their show, 7 Minutes in Heaven next week, 3-day performance. So that should be fun. There's a whole host of things going on.
So-
Events.
Right. So holy cow, Morgan's got all that going on, and she's one of Spokane's up and coming artists. So let's talk about that. And we have samples of your art right here, which is beautiful. And what is your vision for your art?
So these are new. I've gone through several different artistic phases, I guess, throughout the years, and went through like a mimicry phase, and I was trying to like do owls and ospreys and get that realism, and then mainly my focus was like cartoons and comics and stuff. That's really what my hand would naturally go to style wise. And now with the business, I don't have much time to art at all. So unless it's like a commission project or something, I've got abstract expressionism, I guess, that I fall into now. So it's a way for me when everything's kind of crazy here. I just take some time and I get the emotions out on canvas, and then I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense with everything in the back end. But it's a therapy for me. It's cool when people connect with it, and then I tell them the backstory of what was going on during these paintings, and they're like, oh my God, well, this relates to this. So it's fun.
What's one of your biggest challenges being an artist?
The different types of artists. For me, art was really private, I guess. And so like trying to turn that into a business or get into the business side of things, whether it be like book covers or comics or paintings or now like graphic design and flyers and website stuff. Like there's just so much. So I don't know, the sense of self and the balance of trying to balance who you are with your artistic self is really the challenge, that learning, and then that constant identity crisis, I guess, figuring it out along the way.
And what have you learned?
Patience. Patience, and you do not have control. So knowing me for an extended period of time, like you wanted to have control, that's cute. You thought you had a plan, that's great. If Matt has taught me anything, it's you do not have any plan. Keep going. And the same thing with like art, whether it be painting or clay, something a lot like rarely do things turn out the way that you plan. And so like I'll have commissions that'll last a year because I'm just so focused on, okay, it needs to have this many elements versus something like this where it's just like, that was refreshing. You just kind of get it out there.
What do you love most about doing your artwork?
Feeling like a kid again. And just like being able to have that world in front of me be whatever it was. And then like from start to finish, I know that something's been accomplished. I've learned something, whether or not that ever turns into anything or it gets tossed aside and forgotten about for 4 years in a pile. I learned something in that piece. So being able to like reconnect with that is very refreshing.
How is it being you kind of spoke to this earlier, but how is it being an artist running an art studio filled with artists?
Educational. It's fascinating because you get to meet so many different people that work with so many different mediums, and then those kind of overlap into these like, well, they've worked with now these other things, but have you tried it this way? Or then like Saranka in studio, you know, we get to hear of techniques and stories and things from all over the world. And having a place like, it's not just a studio that people work, like we have open hours. So you don't know who could walk through the door at any time, who might like parkour your plan for the day. You don't know what conversations you're gonna bring, or you know, maybe you want art that day. No. So yeah, it's interesting. And a lot of inspiration, learning so much. It's really like a think tank here. But on that, like there's only so many hours in a day. So you gotta like
manage your time.
If possible. We've got hourglasses somewhere. There's a lot here. We can't find them. Where's the bell?
What is some of your inspiration?
Oh, God, it depends on the day. It really does. People and situations, the self-discovery. That's 98% of like my art now. And like that piece there, I see so many people that struggle with like putting on this persona in front of people, and they get exhausted. And so like whatever this is here, that's their distraction. Everybody's got one. Everybody's got vices, and whether or not they let that like block it out for them. I see a lot, and I talk to a lot of people about different scenarios. Only about 15% of what we do here is art, and the rest of the couches are primarily therapy.
Conversation.
Yeah. So the human condition, and like everybody's struggling. Everybody's trying to figure it out. Nobody's got a plan. We're all reactive. So painting helps.
What questions does our live studio audience have for Morgan? And when you say a question, I'm going to repeat it for the microphone, and then Morgan will answer it. Steven.
Are you open to sharing the story behind the painting behind Val?
Yeah, what's the story with the painting behind me?
Oh, that one. That was a little tester piece. I had sprayed some spray paint over gesso, and when I tried to move it, kind of created these clouds. And then as I tried to move the paint, it became this person hanging the moon, and just thinking about at that time going through a lot of like dealing with people who you know, you had these images in your mind of who you thought they would be, you know, whether it be friends, family members, whatever that happened to be, that light that shine on everything. But realistically, like that's also going to bring out a really shadowy part of you that you might not be ready to deal with. So whoever it is that's shining that light in your life, you better be ready to dig deep and go through a thorny forest of self-discovery, because it's a path, whether you choose to take it or not. You can focus on the clouds, or that path is not going to go anywhere.
Anybody else?
Can you explain to us what else goes on in this building?
Yeah, what else? So what else goes on at Mad Collab Studios?
In the building or Matt?
Well, not in the building. Sorry.
No. There's so we've got a lot here. We've got the ceramic studio, which also doubles as the special effects studio for Chris Russell with Dream Effects Productions. So he does 3D printing, latex mask making, body painting, face painting, worked special effects 20 years. He's got an office. Then Wyatt Cecil with SP Studios. He is a tattoo artist, so he has his office and his tattoo studio on this side. He'll be moving to a shop downtown, expanding. And then Saranka with Batik, and so it's a layering of different dyes separated with paraffin wax, and then it all gets melted off to a final image, which is fascinating. But then we've got the collaborative spaces. So we've got our 2 main event rooms, which can be transformed into literally anything, gaming tournaments, like a concert. It's been pretty crazy. At the recording studio, the photo shoots have been fun for a variety of different things. We'll be putting in a dance floor here shortly in one of the other, but therapy groups, photography groups, a sketching group. I mean, like, people use this spot as a meeting place. We've got artists that maybe they have online sales and they don't necessarily want to meet that client in, say, a parking lot of sorts. So, you know, we're also a safe place for people to make exchanges. So it really depends on the day, but it can be anything. You just got to come with the ideas.
Pottery.
Oh yeah, the ceramic lab, sip and spins, paint and sip, all sorts of stuff. Head to the website, madcollabstudios.com, and you get a taste of it. But you don't know Mad until you come here. And that's what, like, when people are like, oh, it's an art studio. No, studios with, there's 6,500 square feet here. Like, what do you want to do?
So if somebody was wanting to book a location here, where would they find the pricing and information on that?
If you go to our event rental space on the website, there's a whole host of different things. And whether you wanted one room for, say, a period of 4 hours, or maybe you wanted it for an entire weekend event. So we can do mini conventions here with the size of the space. It is broken up into a figure-8 pattern, but then we've got options here for events. We haven't had a wedding yet. We haven't had a wedding. We had one push out, but like, you're hoping for a really artsy reception sometime soon.
That'll be fun. Heather.
What are your days that you operate?
Wednesday through Sunday, 12 to 5 most days.
Is that flexible based on?
Depending on what's going on. Like, just because the doors are closed at 5 does not mean necessarily that that's what's. We could be having a private event. There's more magnets coming to the door. Like, sorry, we're filming today. Sorry, we're doing this. Like, so please call ahead.
If people want to find out about you and your particular art, do you have a setup for that?
I have Instagram for my own private art. That's Morgan Walters Art on Instagram. I mean, I don't necessarily have a website. Some are for sale up on the Mad Collab Studios website, but I've got prints available there of some of the older work. But I mean, come and talk to me. You know where I'm at.
One more question, Heather?
You might have said this already, but if you're doing any of these classes and groups, is it really geared towards adults or kids or either?
Most are geared towards adults. We have had some specialized kid programs. There are some individuals that might have some mobility issues that will open on different days with sensory stuff. So it really depends on what the group needs. We'll have Girl Scouts get their pottery badges here. That's been really fun. Different youth programs will have rotational art programs. So it's not just classes. It's really like these organizations get a hold of me, and then I kind of figure out what their timeline is, what they're looking at, and see what artists want to come in, and maybe they do interviews or maybe they do painting stations. So
you can really just tailor to the clients
entirely. I've had school contracts and they're like, man, we're really interested in tattooing. Fantastic. Well, let's get you a person like, and granted, not children tattooing, let me be clear, but getting them started on creating their portfolio and some of the things to do or look for, instead of just like, oh, I want to, no, don't do that.
So you have the coffee location, is that open at all hours that you're open?
The lounge area, we've got concessions here. We do have a group that's moving in at the end of April, mid-April, I guess. So they'll be doing like salads, wraps, rolls, a whole host of different things. So we're waiting on that, but they'll be open, I believe, 9 a.m. to 1, and then they also have delivery and such. So really excited. But then catering for specialty events, and yeah, so this whole room can be transformed anytime.
I am glad that I know you. I'm glad, grateful, and appreciative because of you, I am now collaborating with people in my business, the Huckleberry Press, that I never would have met otherwise. And you are facilitating a group where every week we have 40 to 60 some odd people come, and they are doing business with each other, meeting each other, collaborating with each other. It's completely beautiful and totally awesome. And I'm inspired to know more about you and your art.
Thank
So,
you, Val.
thank
I
you.
love knowing you.
Yay. Yay, right on. All right. For our live studio audience, you guys are totally awesome. Thanks for making it happen and making our people feel special. And for you people that are watching online, thank you for participating. Check out the Huckleberry Press. Check out Morgan Walters, artist, Move in Magic, Spokane Small Business and Entrepreneurs Group, and Mad Collab Studios. So we covered a lot of bases. Have a great afternoon.
Go team.
Thanks again.